Welcome everybody to another video of Dead by Daylight. My name is Cubeproductions, and we're using a really interesting build that a viewer requested. We're using 4 perks. The first one is play with your food. Every time we go into a chase with the obsession, and then we don't hit them, or we just leave the chase, we gain a token, max of 3 tokens. Every token will increase our movement speed by 5%, which is extremely useful because the whole point of this build is to move faster. We have Stay Best for last. Every time we hit a survivor that's not the obsession, we get a token, which will make it so that with the cooldown of our hit attacks will be less, and we have a max of 8 tokens. We have our next perk, a perk that I think is really good, but I don't really know for sure. It's my first time ever using it, called Rapid Brutality, where we no longer gain Bloodlust, but every time we hit a survivor, that we gain a 5% haste boost for 10 seconds, which works really well with Play With Your Food because we have Play With Your Food stacks, and when we use Rapid Brutality, we technically don't lose the stack because we move faster anyway. And then we have Jolt, though we can still slow down the game with gens, but at the exact same time, we're not focusing on gens, we're focusing on downing people. We have Geographical Readout so we can move faster, and we have, what's it called? Randomized Strobe so we can move slow, we'll make the survivors move slower. Now let's get straight to the game so I can show you how great this build is. And also let's talk about the Score Merchant rework while we're at it. I get a really good map when I finally come back to playing Dead by Daylight. So the reason why I haven't been uploading in a while is because basically I've been really busy with college. That is the main reason why. But I have 4 or 3 videos. I got 4 planned for y'all. Also need to just start editing more. The main reason why it's like I told y'all, I try and by the way, the game just started. Nicolas Cage already left the game. He's like, "So Merchant, nah, I'm good." I'm like, okay. I'll put a drone on the main building that will be the person who I'm chasing, and also get the person up top. So hopefully I can get someone exposed really quickly. But the reason I've been uploading is because I have been busy with college. During my free time, I will end up honestly either studying or doing homework if I have free time. So I don't really have time to record, and then when I finally do have time to record, I record a video, but I can't edit my video because you can hear me right now. I'm talking, but I have a roommate, and I don't want to edit my video while I'm talking. Well, I want to talk while he's in here. I kind of feel like it's a little embarrassing, but also it's because of the fact that we're both doing things. Like he might be studying and then I'm making a video, and it's like, wow, that's weird. So because of that reason, I just decided to, when I have free time, when he's not here, I will record, and that's what I'm doing right now. So this is the reason why I haven't been uploading as much. I'm so sorry, but I know y'all understand, like, college is college and there's a lot going on. So of course I know y'all understand everything's happening. But normally I would go out over the build more often, but honestly, y'all can just watch and y'all can just see what's happening. Basically, we hit a survivor, Rapid Brutality, add a bit to move faster, we overuse Play With Your Food to get more tokens, and then we move faster, and we can down any survivor insanely fast, because Chase Merchant is the best way to play Score Merchant, so we're gonna move really fast. But that's why we have been uploading. Now let's talk about the main thing I want to talk about, which that girl's flashlight, the whole sound rock. I don't know why she was able to hit me that far away, but sure. Let's talk about the Score Merchant rework. So sadly, I don't have like gameplay for y'all or like videos to show because I play on console. If you can't tell by the buttons, like it says L1 to inspect, to recall drone, or inspect everything. Like, of course, I'm not gonna be able to play the PTB because I'm on console. But I do watch people play all the time, and I do listen to feedback from different things, and of course, as a Score Merchant main, I have my own opinion on different things. So, do I hate or like the rework? I actually love the rework. It is so good. I think it's really cool. The only problem with the rework, honestly, is the numbers and some obvious things. For example, I kind of wish I could I could edit in like some things and go over. Maybe I'll do that at the end of the video. But basically, it feels like they kind of just don't know what they're doing with Score Merchant in a way. They gave her a bunch of different things. She can detect people with drones, but they're not moving. They're not detected, which is kind of weird because I feel like the whole point of a drone is to detect anyone at any time. So I don't quite understand that change. But I'll talk more about that in a minute. They gave her the ability to inflict damage to people I haven't touched them, which is really cool. Instead of getting exposed, you hinder them, or you make them get a claw trap and they get injured and they get broken. I think that's really cool. I like it a lot. There's Nicolas Cage right here, but I can't find him because the bot apparently knows how to hide or something. I don't know what's happening. But I think that's really cool. The main problem I have is some of the numbers. For example, there should be no cooldown on 2 things: when she places the drone and when she recalls the drone. There is no reason why you give a killer this power to get more drones up, that way she can place more drones, and you gave it the ability to be able to place drones closer, and they made the ability to verticality doesn't matter. They can place drones on top of each other, but then you proceed to give her a cooldown. It honestly does not make any sense. That's the main thing that frustrates me, because it doesn't make any logical sense. Why would you give a person a cooldown on something when they're supposed to be doing that something, and then you destroyed everything else? What was the whole point? That's the first thing I don't like. There should be no cooldown. There should be no cooldown at all when placing drones. But there may be a little cooldown if you want to recall a drone. I get it, I guess. But like, no reason why it's like 5 hours. Like, it makes no sense. The cooldown needs to be way less. The second thing I want to talk about is, like I talked about before, how it the drones can detect people who are not moving. I think that's fine. Like, if you're on a generator, the drone should not be able to detect you. That's fine. But the fact that you can literally walk towards a drone, then stop moving, then walk towards, then walk away from the drone, is kind of bad design. Honestly, I don't really like that at all. I'm not saying it's not gonna happen both the time anyway. No one's gonna just stop moving unless they know it's smarter to get hit by Skull Merchant's M1 than it is to get hit with a claw trap, which some people are smart enough to do that. But I kind of feel like that's kind of bad game design. Like, why would you make it so a survivor can literally stand in a drone and make it so that way the drone is gone? Oh, no, make it so the drone is useless, and then I have to M1 them, and then because I M1 them, now they can run. Like, I kind of feel like the whole point of the power is useless then, if the survivor can just stand next to the drone and not get detected. That's the second problem I have. But that's the main two problems, just cooldowns and the fact that the survivor can literally stand there and do absolutely nothing, and the drone will do absolutely nothing too. Another change that I think they should do, but like they're not going to do it, is I don't understand why a survivor can instantly hack a drone before a drone can only be hacked about, like, I think 10-15 seconds after she had placed it. But they can now disable drones, and the drone will be disabled before it used to disable the drone, and they get a claw trap as a result. Now it is disabled the drone, and they'll get a claw trap. But the thing is, you can't reactivate the drone manually anymore. But if you recall the drone, you have a 20-second cooldown or whatever on your drone, on placing drones, which doesn't make any sense. So it's like, what? I can understand you recall a drone that is being sabotaged or no longer works. I can get why it would have a cooldown. But the fact that you get a cooldown no matter when you recall a drone, and also the fact that the drone, there's no indication to know if a drone is disabled or not. You have to just walk towards it, basically, and hope it's not disabled. That's kind of bad design too. It is a few like simple things that are kind of like common sense that they gotta fix. And then, I don't want to sound rude, but it really is kind of common sense. Like, why give a character whose whole point is to place down drones a cooldown? Why punish the killer for getting rid of a drone they can't use, or getting rid of a drone they place in a bad spot? That's weird. Why make it so that way why make it so the survivor makes more sense to not move than to move when you're being chased by a killer? That's weird. Like, this makes sense, that logically. Like, you're chasing a survivor, and then the survivor doesn't move, and they get and it's a benefit compared to them if they do move because they're in the drone radius. That's kind of weird, but that's just me. That's the main like 3 points I have. But everything else seems kind of cool. A survivor having to get hit 3 times for them to get a claw trap, that's kind of weird. I feel like it should be 2, but at the same time, I did see people use Skull Merchant, and they got some really quick downs, honestly. But of course, it's not really 100% up to the drone placement, and the survivors want to actually run into drones or not. It's not really 100% up to Skull Merchant, sadly. That's the main thing. But overall, I do think it's a really good change. It is gotta fix some numbers. It's all it really is. The suggestions that I just gave, I think they should do. I wonder if they're gonna do it or not, or they're just gonna throw it to live patch and not fix some things, or knowing them they're gonna be like, okay, we fixed some things, and we're gonna tell you what we fixed, but we're not gonna let you test it out first to see if it's good or not. We're just gonna change some numbers, and you're gonna have to deal with that. Oh yes, I forgot one more thing. There's one more thing. You just saw it right there. That girl fell off to the pallet, and the pallet broke because of the claw trap. I do not understand why they got rid of that. There is no reason, in my opinion. You want to make Skull Merchant more of a chase killer, but you get rid of the main mechanic that makes her a chase killer. Why would you make it so that way now claw traps no longer break pallets when a person vaults over it with a claw trap? I do not like that change at all. And I'm not saying that because like I want them to just break pallets. You had a whole add-on that did that. People realized that add-on was the best one she had because it made her better in chases. You made the add-on base kit and then you make her, but then she's a 3-gen Skull Merchant. So then it's like, okay, another 3-gen is even worse because you can't even bump pallets. Now you make her chase oriented and then you can't even break pallets. Like, it doesn't make sense at all. Like, it doesn't make sense at all. And I don't like that. That's just me though. Of course, in the comments, please let me know what you think. I just feel like that's weird. Of course, I'm still gonna use her, and I'll find my own strategy on how to play her. But it's just some simple things that don't make sense, and they decide to just do them anyway. Let's talk more about her add-ons. I think I'll talk about them. I don't really have the names for them. Well, I can pull them up right now, actually. But let's talk about her add-ons. So, a lot of her add-ons changed because of how the drones work now. For example, Brown Noise Generator, in my opinion, was her best add-on because you can put it on basically any tile, any survivor, any gen, and making someone oblivious so they don't know where you're coming from is extremely strong. Brown Noise Generator got nerfed in a way because basically the way it works now is one survivor has a claw trap on them, they become oblivious. Now, of course, and then it stays that way until the claw trap goes away. Now, of course, there is nothing wrong with that at all. It's still gonna be good. It's just more like I won't put it on every single build I use because now I have to like get survivors to be exposed, and I feel like get survivors to have a cloud up on them instead of just letting them touch the active zone of my drone and then they get oblivious. So of course it's still gonna be useful, it's not gonna be as good. There are 2 add-ons that I feel like got completely destroyed. One of them is Advanced Move Prediction. Advanced Move Prediction, it used to be if a survivor touches a active zone, you can see their aura for 6 seconds. Very simple, very self-explanatory, good, really good. Now the way it works is if a survivor gets a claw trap on them, you can see their aura for 6 seconds. This is awful. The reason why it's awful is because you can already track them with the drone, or with the radar when they have a claw trap on them. You don't need to see their aura if you can just track them with the drone. Now you're probably wondering, I mean with the add-on radar, you're probably wondering, but Cube, you can also just track them with the drone, or the add-on, with the radar, I mean, if they enter the drone radius in general, and you're 100% correct. But at the same exact time, once they leave the radius, you can't track them anymore because they don't have a claw trap on them. But the way Advanced Move Prediction works, it's like now you can track them if they have a claw trap on them by seeing their aura, but you can already track them with the radar anyway. So I feel like Advanced Move Prediction, they don't really get nerfed, it's more like they changed it and the change makes no sense. I feel like it should be if a survivor touches if the survivor gets a claw trap or touches the white lights of a drone that's in active mode or in its little sneaky mode, then it should give you an aura. But they decided to just do it in a weird way. I don't like that change. They changed if geographical readout. Now the way geographical readout works is every time you use your drone, you get the buff, which in my opinion is kind of better because you don't even get it because you'll be untetherable. In case you don't know, when you use your drone now, you're untetherable for 8 seconds. So now you have untetherable and you move faster, and that's really good. And I feel like that's kind of a cool change. But then there's some add-on. There's one add-on. I can't remember the name of it. If you look at my tier list, I think I put it at the D tier, or at the second to last tier, because it's just that bad. What the add-on does is, if a survivor has a claw trap on them and you hit them, they become hemorrhaged and mangled until the claw trap is removed. And I told y'all, I think that's like one of the worst add-ons. They somehow made the add-on worse. They didn't even change it. But the reason why the add-on got worse is because the way Skull Merchant power works now when she uses the in the PTB is if a survivor gets hit with an active zone of a drone, they get 3 times, they get a claw trap on them, they get injured, and they get broken, which means they can't heal. There is no reason to use that green add-on that makes them mangled and hemorrhage if they're already going to be injured, because the whole point of it is you to hit a survivor who's healthy but you can't hit a survivor that's healthy if they're going to be injured, and then they're broken, so they can't heal. So literally, the add-on does absolutely nothing. And unless someone can tell me, but think about it, the whole add-on is, it says, you hit a survivor who's healthy, who has a cloud trap on them, they become mangled and they become mangled and hemorrhaged. But the cloud trap now automatically makes them broken, automatically injures them, and if they're broken, they can't heal, so they're going to be injured. So because of that reason, if you hit a survivor who already has a cloud trap on them when they're injured, then nothing's going to happen. So the add-on is useless. Like, it doesn't make sense. So I feel like they kind of rushed some things and they just threw it all together and said, here. Now, a lot of it does work. I like it. But some things make no sense. They gotta fix the add-ons. I feel like they shouldn't release her, honestly, until they fix everything. But they're gonna probably release her like the next patch, and then they're gonna be like, okay, we fixed some things. Here's the stuff we fixed, and that's it. But am I glad she can't regen and make the game last for an hour? Of course, they're wrong with that. But at the same time, it just feels like they completely just didn't use a lot of brain power to make the killer. But I also use her anyway. It doesn't matter how bad or good she is, I'm still going to use her, you know that. But it's just some simple things. I plan to make another video about this too and talk about more stuff. I wish I could go more in depth, but I don't have the PTB. But thank you, Swansea, for requesting this video, by the way. If you enjoyed the video, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And of course, let me know in the comments of the PTB Strawberry rework in the comment. I'll see y'all soon. Have a nice day.